Hello everyone, ja będę here. In today's video I'm going to show the Dorma DC 500 lock, which if we consider the design is a copy of the classic in locksport, which is the ASA 700 with Christmas trees and undercut in keeping chambers. However, despite the practically identical design, the difference in picking is very big, which is caused by the counter milling in the keeping chamber just mentioned. In this undercut is what we call this type of counter milling. I will show you when we'll be take a look on the goods. Yeah, in this undercut, undercut is rounded, and there are no square angles like in the ASA 700, which means that we basically don't have to use the float picking technique to lift Christmas tree from the undercut. It is because of the rounded edges in the undercut that Christmas trees behave like spools, and when we start to pick them, we get a counter rotation on the core. So picking this lock can be done in 3 stages. The first is to set the tapered pins, which are in chambers 3, 5 and 7. Once this is done, the core rotates and we have a falset. At this point we proceed to phase 2, which is to lift the Christmas trees above the first wider part of the spool. During this phase, the tapered pins will probably drop, so when the falset doesn't return after setting some of the Christmas trees, you need to correct the tapered pins, which they are in 3, 5th and 3rd, 5th and 7th chambers. Phase 3 is the same as phase 2, except that the lifting moment is much shorter because of the construction of the Christmas tree pins. So let's see the guts. Okay, so let's start with the key pins. Any key pin that is where the Christmas tree are is a torpedo pin. Looks like that. Meaning that when you do an overset, it will get stuck and the undercut, and you will need to reset the whole lock. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, in chambers 3, 5 and 7 we have tapered pins. Both drivers and key pins are tapered, so to set them you will have to go through them several times each, and there are the famous Christmas tree pins. As you can see, they have 2 parts that are spooled. Alright, so now let's see the counter milling, called undercut, is in here in chambers 1st up to the 6th. It's only on the sides of the chambers, and as I mentioned, its edges are rounded, and so we'll set our Christmas trees like double spools. There's nothing special about the housing, just driver chambers. That's how it looks like. So that's it for the guts, and I will try to pick it. Alright, here we have Dorma. So let's pick number 3. Let me click on the 4 and number 5. Number 3, 4. Number 3. 5 is good. Now 7. Right. Again 3. Again 7. 3 was good. 5 is good. Now 7. Alright, and we have all set. So first part of Christmas tree and number 6. Number 5 was dropped, okay. Now number 4. Okay, that was number 4. Now let's try number 1. And some tapers are dropped. Number 3. Okay, so let's try number 2. Again, number 5 was dropped. Now number 1. Alright, so now second part of Christmas tree, number 6. Okay, now it will be number 4. Okay, something was dropped. Number 3. Alright, let's try number 2. Okay, number 1 probably. Let's check, because something definitely was dropped. Number 6, number 2 probably, and number 4 probably. Number 6 is good, so I think that will be number 4. Or alright, that was number 2. Okay, so let's get this look. Okay, and drivers. And the last one. Okay, and now this very long springs. So that was 7-pin Dorma with Christmas tree pins and undercut. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave in comment and find me on Discord. Thank you for watching, stay safe and be good, cheers.